Good evening, everyone, and I'm going to be discussing my lesson plan for the pre-K kindergarten video assessment. So what my lesson plan consists of is an informational text. I'll be starting off with an informational text, and we will be going over words and concepts for kids to understand the greater knowledge of the world. So for example, like print concepts, and understand that they're cluster of words, and identifying the concepts between big and small. So the objective is students will be able to recognize, demonstrate similarities and differences between big and small. So now I'm going to be showing a small video, and this video is called Little Elliot in the Big City. Throughout the video, I'll be asking questions. So throughout the video, I'll be asking questions to assess their understanding. After the video, the activity, I'm going to quickly do this activity with them. And this is activity about recognizing different characteristics of objects between big objects and small objects. So I'm going to quickly go through the video and just do a really quick read aloud.
In today's read aloud, the big city holds many new and challenging experiences for little Elliot.
So I'm going to pass that. And I'm sorry about the ad.
Little Elliot,
Little Elliot in the Big City.
Story and pictures by
Mike Corrado. For anyone who feels unnoticed. Little Elliot was an elephant. Little Elliot was an elephant.
Little Elliot was an elephant.
He was different in many ways. Someone tell me, how was he different? Look at the mirror. Is that a big mirror or a small mirror? It's a big mirror, and how is he different? What do we notice about little Elliot? He's small? Yeah, he's small. What do you see on him too? There's like little dots, dotted dots on little Elliot, dotted elephant, colorful dots.
He was different in many ways.
Little Elliot loved living in the big city. Look at the cars. The cars. Is that a big red car, or is it a small red car? It's a big car.
Little Elliot loved living in a big city. Little Elliot loved living in a big city.
But sometimes it was hard being so small.
But sometimes it was hard being so small.
In such a huge place. Who can tell me what are some big things that we can see? Yeah, look at that building. Is that a big building? Go say it's a big building, or is it tall? It's a tall building. It's tall. The tallest building. He had to be careful not to be stepped on. He had trouble opening doors. Poor little Elliot. and he could never catch a cab. Even life at home was a bit challenging. So this is little Elliot. What can someone tell him? Does the chair look big or small? Is it a big chair or is it a small chair? It's a big chair. And what color is this chair? It looks like a little yellow. Could be brown. Yeah. What is Elliot holding in his hands? What is that? We use it to sweep the kitchen. It's a broom. And is it a long broom or a short broom? It's a long broom. I love how we thought about that. So little Elliot has a flower on his, look at the table. That table is a round table. Is it a big table or a small table? Think about it. And the flower, coming back to that flower. So in this part of the story, I'm trying to support students who are bilingual, and I'm pointing. If the story was in my hand, I would be pointing to the pictures of table, flower, chair, and saying those words, repeating them to them so they have an understanding and connecting meaning to the images. So according to the text, Bertekamp mentioned that students can identify print concepts at such a young age using their understanding that they're clusters of letters, and those clusters of letters are words. So they are recognized with familiar labels and environment print. We didn't really see, but we think we're going to see one coming up soon. Still, Elliot enjoyed the little things. Is that flower big or small? It's a yellow flower. It's a small flower, and it's smaller than little Elliot. Small treasures. There we go with the signs. So Speranza Bakery, established in 1905. So that means, according to the text, the children would have known, if I'm going to ask a question right now to the children. So where is little Elliot going into? He's going into the bakery. And what is he going to buy? A cupcake. So according to the text, Bertekamp stated that students are familiar with labels and environmental print. But no one noticed him. So I'm going back into the story. That he barely noticed a thing. Until he saw someone even littler than himself, who had even a bigger problem. So here's a little mouse and the big trash can. Hello, Mouse. What's wrong? Asked Elliot. I'm trying to reach some food, but I'm too small, said Mouse. and I'm so very hungry. I can help, said Elliot. So Bertecamp also states in the textbook for early childhood readers when they're engaged in the act of reading and encouraged to read is to emphasize words and to demonstrate more than multiple characters in the story. So since there's another character besides Elliot, I decided to change up my voice just so I can send out to the children that I would like them to be excited about reading and encourage them to read more and have more books and to look at pictures and to try to understand the words in those pictures when we know we can't read those words, but they can definitely be exposed to them. And even though they have certain phonological awareness skills at that age, they can identify the first letter of a word of their name. So being exposed to this experience will have them their readiness for kindergarten and encourage their likelihood to read and succeed as early readers. So here's a picture of a mouse, and he's going to eat a pizza. A pizza that is small and has pepperoni on it. And there's Elliot's little trunk. Is the mouse big or small? Yeah, it is a small mouse. All right, I can help, said Elliot. Elliot felt like the tallest elephant in the world. Remember, boys and girls, there were a few objects that we've mentioned that were big and small. Can someone tell me what were the objects that were big? So we said it was a car. The fridge, the chair. Now I'm going to ask you, very good, what about the little mouse? But remember, he said this Elliot felt like the tallest elephant in the world. So even though Elliot is bigger than the little mouse, he's still little. Elliot is still little, but he's standing on a big hill. And he feels like he's the tallest person on that hill. So someone who's tall is really tall. You have to look up. And Elliot is standing up. The next day, Mouse came with Elliot to the bakery. Boy, there's the cupcakes, boys and girls. Elliot finally got his cupcake. And something even better. All right, the end. So, boys and girls, I decided to talk about our next activity, which is for big and small. So, as you can see, this is an elephant, and this elephant is the size of this elephant. He's big. It's a big elephant. So I'm going to place him underneath the big or small part. Is it big or is it small? It is big. It is a big elephant. Now, here's our button. Is this a big button or a small button? It does look bigger than the button in the video, but it's actually small compared to the heart and the elephant. So I will put it in the small column. What about the cupcake? In our video, boys and girls, we saw a video of our cupcake. And was it a big cupcake or a small cupcake? They were small cupcakes, but is this a big cupcake or a small cupcake? It's a big cupcake because it's bigger than the one that was in the video. And I'll bring it up right now. We have our small cupcake. It's a small cupcake. Boys and girls, There's our little one.